If you could permanently rid yourself of one emotion, which would it be? Embarrassment causes me more distress than anything else, like when I'm falling asleep, thinking of all the times I've made jokes that didn't land. So I'd get rid of it in a heartbeat. I think this is closest to what I was thinking as I scrolled through. I'd like to dispel forever the fear of social judgment. So I'm basically liberated to be the batshit insane person I actually am, but, you know, in public, I wouldn't make many friends, but the ones I make would be worth it. I would get rid of worry, but what if it doesn't work? What if something bad happens because I can't worry? No, it's just not worth the risk. With worry being that nagging what if this happens instead in your brain that causes you to take caution with just about anything. I'd imagine not having worry would go something like this. You're lying in bed at night and you think you hear your front door open and what sounds like footsteps. Without worry, you have no capacity to think that something bad could come of this. So you convince yourself that it was just the wind or you hearing things and go to sleep. Your house is ransacked in the morning and you're surprised. There are much more morbid examples, but I think this one gets the job done. Anxiety. Life would be easier if I wasn't always anxious. RIP to my inbox. Yes, I'm talking about the type of anxiety that you can't just get over. The type that makes your house more comfortable than any type of social outing, even with closest of friends, will ever be. The type that makes you stutter when you have to make a point. The type that causes to some extent or another OCD with something in your life. My OCD issue seems to be germs. Yay. Your body and your mind just absolutely refuse to be good to you. I've had a panic attack while driving with my kids in the car. I had to pull over because if I didn't I was going to pee butt out due to hyperventilating. Insomnia is a nightmare. Finding a partner who understands you is nearly impossible. I'm however very fortunate to have found one. Any normal everyday task literally takes convincing yourself to do. Even with therapy, I don't think the therapist realizes how bad I am, because as an adult I've become good at hiding it when I have to. This was my first thought as well. Mine's damn near crippling and makes it extremely difficult to enjoy daily life. It's almost like even the smallest decisions have a cloud of fear looming over it. Also, it's difficult to be on time when you're constantly terrified you left something on that's hazardous, left a door unlocked, etc. That's where OCD and small daily rituals come in. I've been in and out of treatment, meds, therapy since I was a preteen, almost 30 now. It sounds nuts, but it's funny because most people have absolutely no idea I lead a normal, pretty enjoyable adult life. I'd become a master of hiding it because I was always so embarrassed and ashamed. I never knew what to call it as a kid. I thought I was defective somehow and hiding some deep dark secret about who I actually was. Now I'll talk about it. It's important for people to know they aren't alone, and the stigma with mental illness is a danger in itself. I don't even want to begin to describe how it affects relationships. Props to my friends I grew up with who never judged, made fun of, or treated me differently. Especially Janie, you da best. I know exactly how you feel. My anxiety is definitely crippling. I don't have many friends, but the idea of being around new people scares the poop out of me, and I probably seem like a socially inept weirdo when I'm around new people. I also have a bit of OCD/anxiety about things, like did I lock the doors? There have been 2 times when I had my boyfriend turn around. We were just up the street and go home so I could check the doors because I didn't watch him lock the doors. Hell, I've been halfway down the hall to the elevator and had to go back to check the door that I just locked. I also have to check the doors multiple times each before going to bed. I can't afford therapy right now, but I know I need it and would love to go. Edit, changed a word. Pride. The pompous false kind. The all-encompassing kind. I try not to let that one trip me up. Every time I get a little fat in the head it tends to backfire. Honestly, none. I grew up with depression. Still have it obviously. For the longest time I just wished I couldn't be depressed. I wished I couldn't feel this sadness, this anger at the world, this vitriolic weight crushing on me. Then I got into counseling. Now I cherish that sadness, just like I cherish my other emotions. Because let me tell you the extreme of that. When you're in a hospital bed because you tried to kill yourself multiple times. The extreme of that is to feel nothing at all. Just emptiness. No emotion, no nothing. I'm not talking the serene emptiness of Moonlit Cave or the feeling of calm that comes from going to an empty diner at 2 AM. I mean the absence of everything that makes you a person in the world. Your emotions are always there for a reason. Anxiety keeps you motivated to get things done and safe from the dangers of the world. Sadness lets you appreciate the good times in life and reminds you that all this is temporary. Joy and happiness keeps you in the moment and is what life is worth living for. Anger is passion. It's pure form, and though, while it should be managed, you should never let it go. You need to feel the duck out of your feelings. Just don't let them control you and you're good. Insecurity. There's tons of things I'm good at. I know I am. So why can't my guts just accept that already and stop flooding me with waves of no, it won't work, not for us. It won't, our life does not work like that, there will be no success / happiness / luck for us and all that. Gah. I would get rid of anger. It clouds judgment and leads to rash decisions. This would mean taking action against things I hate would be much more put together. Disappointment. I find it very hard to get over disappointment when it happens. Rather than accepting that I'm disappointed and moving on, I go out of my way to ever be disappointed by that thing again. It's turned me rather cynical at times in my life. Anger. I can almost literally explode and get extremely angry, and I hate it. It's as if there are no anger levels between 0 and 10 for me. I go straight to 10. It has gotten a lot better due to an anger management training. No tantrums anymore. But because of my current job situation, I'm just too strained at the moment. Yes, I'm looking for another job. No. Though they may at times be uncomfortable, emotions serve a purpose. Learning to be with them, rather than to identify as them, or to let them control you, is the key to learning how to get the most from them. Each has their time and place. A few years ago I would have said grief. It hurt more than I can express, though I have tried many times. It too served a purpose. One I only found when I stopped trying to run from it. If I can learn to live with that, I can learn to live with any. If I can learn from that, they each have something to say to me. I would not eliminate any. I feel like Stitch at the end of Lilo and Stitch. These are my emotions. I found them all on my own. They are little and broken, but still good. Yay. Still good. Apostrophe. Anger. I might have an anger management problem, and I know it's not good for my health. I think my blood pressure shot up so high yesterday that it gave me an instant headache. Because I couldn't find the checkbook. I can never find the ducking checkbook when I need it. I need help. By far. Absolutely. Guilt. More so than worry over future career aspirations and whether I'll get there. Or about money issues. Just guilt. Guilt is the heaviest emotion there is, in my opinion. I've always had it lingering over me. For the most foolish of reasons to the saddest, guilt and regret go hand in hand. And on my best of days, on the brightest of days, I feel it lingering in the back of my mind, weighing over my shoulders, and sometimes I can't even work out what for. It may be for something foolish or careless I said as a child, or something just as trivial. It could have happened last week, or 10 years ago, but all I know is it hangs over my head and it won't go away. I would happily permanently get rid of it. Yes, its uses are brilliant, they help you learn from your mistakes. But it still doesn't justify the weight it brings, and I just hate it. Fucking anxiety. Anxiety is useless. It does not keep you safe, or on your toes. It only makes you needlessly afraid. It is the useless form of fear. If you have something to be scared about, you are either concerned, lesser fear than anxious, nervous, greater form, or just scared. Anxiety is the only form of fear that happens when you are in no position to do anything about it. Nervousness kinda almost falls into that useless category, but usually you're nervous when you are actually going into something you need to be on your toes about. Anxiety is the fear that dwells when you have no clue what will happen, nor do you have any power to change your situation. And it's also the fear that loads of us feel for no ducking reason every single day. Fuck anxiety. Not sadness. Like others have said, A complete lack of it would be unnecessary, but depression, I want that to go away. To have my view of the world changed. My motivations zilch. And everything becoming a chore is not how I want to live and lead my life. Having romantic feelings for someone else. I have a good job, good friends, and am in no debt. I think I would rather be single than have a crush on someone. It's an awful feeling. I would just want to get rid of my insecurity, doubt that my friends and family actually like me. For some reason, the more stressed I get, the more I'm sure they are all just pretending to like me and hanging out with me because they have to. It is completely ridiculous, and I still am not sure why I think that way. It's only when I'm extra stressed, when I deal with my normal level of stress, I have no doubts that they care about me, and I laugh at myself for thinking they are just pretending. I wish I could get rid of anxiety-founded fear. It would certainly help me keep a straight head most of the time when I'm not having trouble breathing and dealing with a heavy chest. The feeling that I should like life and try hard to make it better instead of doing nothing and letting it slowly fall apart while I hold myself to ridiculous standards that only make myself have more self-hatred for not meeting them. Suspicion, i.e., a lack of trust. I find myself suspicious of even my best friends of acting against me. It's honestly borderline paranoia. I can't really bring myself to fully trust anyone. I'm always suspecting to be let down, rejected, or betrayed in some way. Anger, easily. It's not like I have trouble controlling my temper. It's the opposite. I control it so well that I have a ton of internal anger, and that's not exactly enjoyable. Happiness, so that I can go on an everlasting quest. An adventure where I'll learn all sorts of things and meet new people. A quest for discovery in order to get it back. Or I can just give myself motivation. That works too. Angry, less likely to do stupid things that could land me in some trouble if I think clearly and not heat of the moment. I'm not sure if this counts, but under confidence. I would be much more successful in everything I do if I just stopped doubting myself. Anger. When I get seriously angry at someone or something, my mind immediately goes to all the different ways I could hurt them or destroy that thing. It's scary because I could totally realistically do a lot of the things I think of without needing much help from anyone. The thoughts usually come after I see something political or religious related. I'm not an idiot, and I'm not going to throw my life away for something stupid. But it scares me. Like, what if one day I just snap and don't care what happens to me and I just go for it and do what I'm thinking? The anger usually goes away after 15 to 30 minutes. At that time I can sit back and go over my thoughts and why they are wrong and how I can rationalize to myself next time to not think that way. I also pray to God to help me not think like that. Laziness. But I don't want to be the parent that wakes up his children on a Saturday at 7 AM to do chores. So maybe just tone it down 6070%. Shame. I'd probably say something that's already been posted, but shame would be entertaining to say the least. Anxiety. I consider it to be completely worthless, if not downright harmful. At best, it clouds your judgment at the worst times, and at worst, it controls your life. Shame. I was raised with shame being the primary motivational tool of my parents. Now as an adult, anything can make me feel ashamed. I can't think of any reasons why jealousy is necessary. Envy is one reason why you can strive for more, but jealousy is just a bad emotion that's not needed. I have borderline personality disorder, emotional instability disorder, and for the last 6 months I have managed to suppress all of my emotions. Don't feel the crippling depression or anxiety. I don't get angry, upset, happy, nervous. They are all gone. Be careful what you wish for. Having none makes life very boring, and you start to feel like you're a robot or something. Total detachment from emotions is an extreme measure, to be sure. My doctor told me it is probably some kind of defense mechanism. It's bad, but at least I can walk outside my front door without having a goddamn heart attack, and I'm also not in a super black hole of depression. Maybe anger. I'm not a particularly angry person, but when I do get angry it is very rare for something good to come out of it. hate, or the kind of anger that clouds your judgment. I need fear. I need happiness. I do not need anger. Doubt. I don't suffer from it the way I used to, since becoming aware of it. Still, I would to be rid of it entirely. Whatever the opposite of motivation is, I always try to do something simple like a quick workout, but I always just end up saying duck it. I'm not fat yet. / Jealousy. My girlfriend and I have an open relationship, and she is a fair bit younger and definitely hotter. Between that and the frank reality that few women are into non-monogamy, it's pretty one-sided. No, definitely one-sided. Almost cuckolding. I cried at length yesterday while she was out on a date. Really wish I could just accept it. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.